So, you know, 2 hours after he said he's not going to run he's not going to run for a future in office or anything like that, it comes out that, you know, the Department of Justice is investigating him. So what do? Well, you go on Tucker Carlson, of course, and try to implicate your bestie. Let's watch.
The New York Times ran a story saying that Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz is under federal investigation for playing some role in sex trafficking and potentially having a relationship with a 17-year-old girl. There are very few details in major news outlets tonight about this story. We have no background on it all and not even any very informed questions. Instead, we've invited Congressman Gaetz on the show to respond to these stories and give us his view of them. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. So this is obviously a serious allegation. Tell us what the truth is from your perspective.
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie. The New York Times is running a story that I have traveled with a 17-year-old woman, and that is verifiably false. People can look at my travel records and see.
Dude, there is just something about him, dude. It's very weird. Like, he makes me so uneasy. Like, I hate Tucker Carlson, but like, bro, what did you do? Did you like fuck your eyebrows up or something on purpose to just like literally look scarier than you actually are? Like, you literally just have that fucking perfectly coiffed hair and shit. It's just so, holy fuck. 17-year-old woman, by the way. But again, I wasn't the only one who caught the fucking fact that he was like, I never traveled with that 17-year-old woman. Everyone was like, what the fuck? That's a weird way to dismiss the accusations that you fucked a 17-year-old girl. You know?
See that that is not the case. What is happening is an extortion of me and my family involving a former Department of Justice official. On March 16th, my father got a text message demanding a meeting wherein a person demanded $25 million in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations against me go away. Our family was so troubled by that, we went to the local FBI. And the FBI and the Department of Justice were so concerned about this attempted extortion of a member of Congress that they asked my dad to wear a wire, which he did with the former Department of Justice official. Tonight, I am demanding that the Department of Justice and the FBI release the audio recordings that were made under their supervision and at their direction, which will prove my innocence and that will show that these allegations aren't true. They're merely intended to try to bleed my family out of money. And this former Department of Justice official tomorrow was supposed to be contacted by my father so that specific instructions could be given regarding the wiring of $4.5 million as a down payment on this bribe. I don't think it's a coincidence that tonight, somehow, the New York Times is leaking this information, smearing me.
So, if someone is extorting you, why would they leak that information? The entire purpose of, like, extortion is that they hold that over your head, and then they get the money. So why would they fuck themselves over? Like, I guess these guys are simultaneously the best extorters on the planet because they are able to, like, catch you in fucking 4K doing something that you didn't even do, but they make it seem like it's, you know, there's enough evidence to make it seem like you certainly did. Otherwise, the extortion wouldn't work. Like, here's why extortion doesn't work. If you're Matt Gaetz and you've never fucked a 17-year-old and someone says, hey, Matt Gaetz, you fucked a 17-year-old. We caught you in 4K. You say, no, I didn't. Shut the fuck up. And you move on. And then there's no extortion. But if you're Matt Gaetz and the extorters are so good that they like literally make it seem like you actually did fuck a 17-year-old when you hadn't fucked a 17-year-old, then why would they fucking fumble the bag on the finish line? Like, why would they just fumble right as they're about to successfully extort you? That doesn't make any fucking sense. So what's going on here? You know what I mean? It's a little fucking weird that this is his robust defense strategy, which is the extorters are very good and they made a fake story up, but also simultaneously we were going to pay them to shut up, but also then they leaked it before we could pay them. What about Cuomo? Oh, wait, he's a Democrat? Wait, fuck Andrew Cuomo, dumbass. I fucking shit on Cuomo all day, every day. Also, even Cuomo didn't fuck a 17-year-old, so shut the fuck up, bitch. He is a fucking monster for many different reasons, but...
and ruining the investigation that would likely result in one of the former colleagues of the current DOJ being brought to justice for trying to extort me and my family.
So a couple of obvious questions that come to mind, and again, just to restate, this just happened, don't have any other information beyond what we've already said and you have said. First of all, who is this Department of Justice former employee who's trying to extort the money from you, you say?
His name is David McGee. He was a top official in the leadership in the Northern District of Florida as a prosecutor. He currently works at the Beggs and Lane law firm. As a matter of fact, one of the recordings that was made at the FBI and Department of Justice request occurred at that law firm, and the money that was supposed to be paid today that would have shown even more evidence of David McGee's work in this extortion scheme, that was foiled by the New York Times story, and I believe that's why this horrible information and these terrible allegations have been used this evening.
So you're, and I'll get to the investigation in a sec, but you're saying that David McGee was motivated by greed. He was trying to extort money from your family. That's his motivation, you're saying?
I know that there was a demand for money in exchange for a commitment that he could make this investigation go away along with his co-conspirators. They even claimed to have specific connections inside the Biden White House. Now, I don't know if that's true. They were promising that Joe Biden would pardon me. Obviously, I don't need a pardon. I'm not seeking a pardon. I have not done anything improper or wrong.
What? There's no way, dude. What the fuck? Wait, so David McGee catches wind that there's an investigation going on into Matt Gaetz, and then like, it just, this story doesn't make any sense. So the originators of the investigation have to be investigating on a falsehood, right? Like, you have to, what, this is David McGee? Does this guy look like he's trying to extort Matt's dad for $25 million? I mean, he looks pretty fucking evil for the most part, but he's a lead attorney for the United States Department of Justice Organized Crime Task Force. He has an extensive experience in complex litigation in both civil and criminal area and courts. I mean, he's probably paid as fuck, to be honest, but okay, so Representative Matt Gaetz faces Justice Department investigation over alleged relationship with a teen girl. So here's what doesn't matter. Here's what doesn't make sense. Okay, like, there's a lot that doesn't make sense. But one of the weirdest parts about this fucking story is, like, it kind of doesn't mention the Department of Justice investigation being conducted at the moment, being conducted on falsehoods. Like, at no point does he say, like, I mean, he kind of briefly alludes to it, but just moves on from whether or not the origination of this entire conversation, which is the DOJ investigation into him fucking a 17-year-old, is a completely fake investigation. An investigation which started under Trump's Department of Justice. So like, if I was being accused of something that I haven't done, I think I wouldn't even, like, deflect away from the main point. I would literally hammer on that main point that, like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, this is falsehood. No, I'm not going to watch fucking Nick Fuentes' take on this because I'm not a fucking idiot.
But what I am troubled by is the real motivation for all of this. You know, just tonight, Ted Lieu, a Democrat, is calling on me to be removed from the House Judiciary Committee And I believe we are in an era of our politics now, Tucker, where people are smeared to try to take them out of the conversation. I'm not the only person on screen right now who's been falsely accused of a terrible sex act. You were accused of something that you did not do, and so you know what this feels like. You know the pain it can bring to you.
Oh, that's really bad. Oh my God. Oh, it's so bad, dude. That's like, if I'm Tucker Carlson at that moment, I'm like, why the fuck are you still on my show? You gotta pull the plug, dude. It's like, motherfucker, I wasn't being investigated by the FBI. What the fuck? I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, why are you comparing your situation to mine, bro? What the fuck? We are not the same right now. Tucker, you are just like me. You and I, we are one and the same, Tucker. We also both have been investigated by the FBI for sex acts against minors.
To your family, and you know how it just puts people on defense when you're accused of something so salacious and awful, but it did not happen. It is not true. And the fact that it is the basis of this attempt to extort my family tells a lot. And if the FBI and Department of Justice will release the tapes that they are in possession of, the American people will see what is really going on.
You just referred to a mentally ill viewer who accused me of a sex crime 20 years ago. And of course, it was not true. I never met the person. But I do agree with you that being accused falsely is one of the worst things that can happen.
That's why Tucker, look at him. He's like trying to fucking, he's trying so hard not to be like, it's not the same. Like, he's like, it's not the same. You cannot make this comparison. It is not the same.
And you do see it a lot. Let's go back to the investigation. You say that it was or is underway. There was an investigation. What is the basis of that investigation? What is the allegation? That's really not very clear from these news stories.
Yeah, again, I only know what I've read in the New York Times. I can say that actually you and I went to dinner about 2 years ago. Your wife was there, and I brought a friend of mine.
Bro, he is not done. He's like, well, you know, you and I are just the same. You and I went to dinner, and I brought my 17-year-old girlfriend to the dinner. Come on, Tucker. Just say it. Yes, say yes, Tucker. Come on.
You'll remember her. And she was actually threatened by the FBI, told that if she wouldn't cop to the fact that somehow I was involved in some pay-for-play scheme, that she could face trouble. And so I do believe that there are people at the Department of Justice who are trying to smear me,
Yeah, dude. Yeah. The hyper-reactionary Department of Justice that was under the command of the fucking Bill Barr was setting Matt Gaetz up for failure, dude. Yeah. It seems like a legitimate thing.
Providing for flights and hotel rooms for people that you're dating who are of legal age is not a crime. And I'm just troubled that the lack of any sort of legitimate investigation into me would then would then convert into this extortion attempt.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of or the context at all, honestly. But I would like to know who. So they're saying there is a 17-year-old girl who you had a relationship.
Oh, God. Tucker's like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude. Why did I have this motherfucker on the show, dude?
With. Is that true? And who are they? Who is this girl? What are they talking about at the New York Times?
The person doesn't exist. I have not had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false. The allegation, as I read it in the New York Times, is that I've traveled with some 17-year-old in some relationship. That is false, and records will bear that out to be false.
How long has this investigation been going on? Do you know?
It's like she was 16. Haha, technically did not lie.
I don't know.
When were you first informed of it?
Again, I really saw this as a deeply troubling challenge for my family on March 16th when people were, talking about a minor and that there were pictures of me with child prostitutes. That's obviously false. There will be no.
Bro, dude, what is he doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, dude? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yo, he's just dry snitching on himself, dude. Bro, you're literally giving up more information than was like readily accessible to people. What the fuck? Why is he doing this?
No such pictures because no such thing happened. But really on March 16th was when this got going from the extortion standpoint.
It's like he's just going to keep adding on to it. You know, people are saying I did horrific sex acts with animals, but like specifically puppies. And, you know, puppies are very cute, but they're also a lot younger than like a regular dog. And like, you know, dogs are like 7 times the age of humans, right? So like technically, you know, a 3-month-old puppy, well, it's whatever. You know, it's called puppy play, Tucker. It's not a human being. They're saying that I've been doing this, but I wasn't doing this, of course. He's just like getting really into it and like explaining things that no one knew existed. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, you know, Tucker, they're saying I murdered someone. It's like, what? No, they're not. Shut up, Matt Gaetz. You know, they said I horrifically murdered someone with my bare hands, you know, and dumped the body in the underpass on I-95. And you would be able to find the body, they're saying, if you were to drive over the underpass and get down there. It's like right under the graffiti. Tucker, they're saying all of these things. Please do not look into it. It's fake.
So what happens next? I mean, you can see there is this investigation, I guess a criminal investigation. I'm not quite sure where the sex trafficking part comes in. I don't, again, for the 5th time, I don't really understand the story very well. But
oh no! Oh no! Oh God! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it, dude. No, okay, we're just fucking around. Okay, let's keep moving.
Where does it go from here? I mean, you've made an allegation against someone by name on the air and accused him of trying to extort millions of dollars from your family. What happens tomorrow?
Well, what was supposed to happen was the transfer of this money that would have implicated the former colleague of these current DOJ officials. But that's obviously not going to happen tomorrow because the New York Times story was leaked in order to quell that investigative effort. So here's what needs to happen next. The FBI and the Department of Justice must release the tapes that are in their possession that were done at their direction. Those tapes will show that I am innocent and that the whole concept of sex charges against me was really just a way to try to bleed my family out of money and probably smear my name because I am a well-known, outspoken conservative, and I guess that's out of style in a lot of parts of the country right now.
Matt Gaetz, I appreciate your coming on tonight.
Thanks for giving me the chance to tell the truth, Tucker. I appreciate it.
It's a more interesting and complicated story than I knew from reading about it. Thank you very much.
Look at his face, dude. Is he implying that he would have paid the money in the so-called bribe? No, he's saying that. So there's two separate investigations, apparently. The first investigation is him allegedly sex trafficking a minor and like doing sexual acts with a minor, right? So that's being conducted by the DOJ. And in Matt Gaetz's world, someone who's an ex-DOJ official, this lawyer dude that we were just talking about, where the fuck is his name? David L. McGee, catches wind of this investigation and decides to blackmail Matt Gaetz and his family by saying, like, I'm going to leak the information, blah, blah, blah. And that's an extortion. So Matt Gaetz is saying that he then goes to the FBI and the FBI is like, or the DOJ, and says, like, someone's trying to extort me. So the FBI is like, oh, let's conduct a separate investigation into this extortion situation. I mean, this is all his testimony. This is all what he's saying, right? He's saying that there was a separate investigation conducted by the FBI basically into the other ex-DOJ official extorting Matt Gaetz. But that never went anywhere because they leaked it. They leaked the story. Tucker Carlson.
If you just saw our Matt Gaetz interview, that was one of the weirdest interviews I've ever conducted. That story just appeared in the news a couple of hours ago. And on the certainty that there's always more than you read in the newspaper, we immediately called Matt Gaetz and asked him to come on and tell us more, which, as you saw, he did. I don't think that clarified much, but it certainly showed this is a deeply interesting story, and we'll be following it. Don't quite understand it, but we'll bring.
You know he's fucking mad, dude.